everyone, welcome back to WsCube Tech. So guys, in our previous session, we learned what is MySQL. We also learned how to install it in our Windows. In our today's session, we will be talking about DB connection and creation of a database. So in our today's session, what we will be doing, we will be creating a database. Plus, we will be connecting it with our MySQL. So in our last session, we have only seen that there is a database called as MySQL and we have installed it. Today, we will be doing our code. That means we will be writing a code to see that database in our Python. Plus, at the same time, what we will be doing, we will be creating a connection of this Python with our MySQL database. And we will also be creating a database here today. So for that, first step that we need to do is we need to go to our browsers. Yes, we do not have to go to our PyCharms. We need to first go to our browsers over here because we need to install MySQL connector for our Python as well, because it's not a different software. It's all up. It's just a PIP. It's a package that we need to install. So basically, to work on MySQL in PyCharm or any Python compiler, all we need to do is download this package over here. For downloading this package, we have a simple method that first of all, we will be going to our browser over here.
Before that, if you want to become a successful data analyst and if you want to learn from our experts live, then you can call on the given number or you can fill the form that is provided in our description. Not just that, with our every batch, you will be getting 2 demo classes for free.
And I'll be writing over here MySQL PIP. As soon as I have written that down, I'll just click on it. Here it will be giving me a link over here which says PIP install MySQL connector Python. Let's just copy this. Once it is copied, what we will do, we'll go to our command prompt and paste this link over there. For me, it is already installed, so I'll just show it to you by writing it down and pressing enter. But for me, it's already installed, so that's why it will say requirement already satisfied. But in your case, it will just show the downloading time. So hardly it would take 5 to 10 seconds and it will be done. Once it is done, what you need to do, you need to go to PyCharm. Here you will be writing import MySQL connector. So I'll be writing MySQL dot connector. So this is how we have to import it. Now what is our next thing over here? We need to create a connection from here to our MySQL database. To build a connection over here, we will be asked for 3 things, that is the host, the username and the password. The host will be the local host over here. The username, that means the name of the user, will be the root over here. And the password will be the one that we set while we were installing the setup of our MySQL. That for me it was 12345. You can keep any password of yours, and like whatever password you have used while doing the setup, that password only you have to use it here. That's why I also told you to remember it and write it down in a notepad. But yeah, so you have to use the same password over here as well. That's why it was important to be remembered. So let's write it down over here. That first thing, I'll be writing my database. I'll be creating a variable called as mydb. In this, we will be writing MySQL dot connector dot. What we need to do now, we have to connect it. With what we have to connect it, we will be writing that details over here. So I'll be writing 3 things over here. First of all, host. That host is equals to localhost. Our next thing over here would be our username. So user is equals to, so username would be root. And lastly, we will be having one password. So password is equals to 12345. I'll be writing down over here. So here 3 things we have mentioned. One is the localhost, second is the root, third is the 12345, our password. Sometimes database also come over here, but right now we have not created any database over here, so we won't be mentioning any database right now over here. As of now, first thing, this is how the connection has been built, that there is a connection over here. We have created a connection with the MySQL over here. Now after creating a connection, if you want to see what all already existing files are there in MySQL, that is the user file or the system files over there, so let's have a look on how we can watch them. So just like SQL, also we will be needing a cursor over here. So we'll be writing cur is equals to MySQL dot cursor. A cursor will be initialized just like SQLite, and after that we will be executing it. That cursor dot execute. What we will be executing, we need to see the databases over here. So we will be writing show databases. So all the databases which are there inside the MySQL will be shown over here. But what is the problem over here? We have to see this database line by line. For that, we will be executing a loop over here. We will be creating a loop over here to view this one by one in a line. So for that, I'll be writing for I in cursor colon print I. Let's run and see what output we will get over here. So you can see over here some databases are already mentioned over here. These are the system databases, and if you go to MySQL also in administration and in schemas you'll be able to see some of the databases. Other databases are also over here somewhere inside the file. So these are all the databases which are right now present inside the MySQL. So this is over here showing us that the connection over here has been built, and we can see the databases over here. Now at the same time, what we need to do, we need to create a database over here. For creating a database, there is a simple method that in the execute over here, we will be writing our query, that is the create query over here. So just like in SQLite 3, we had a query to create a database, similar queries, almost similar queries over here, that we will be writing create database students. So I'm creating a database for students, and this time I don't need to print anything, just I need to execute this function. So if I run it, nothing will happen over here, but let's go to MySQL and see that if a database has been created or not. So if I refresh it, see over here, so you can see one student's database has been created over here. So this is our database, that means our database has been created over here right now. And in our next session we will be learning what are the functions that we will be operating on this database over here. So I hope the procedure is clear over here, that first of all you need to import sql.connector, mysql.connector. After that you have to create a connection over here. For creating a connection, you can just create a variable, any variable, and inside that you can write mysql.connector.connect over here. We'll be providing with the three information, that is the host will remain the local host, user will remain the root. So nothing needs to be changed throughout the module, that these two things will always remain the same, that the host will be local host and the user will be root. Password over here will also remain the same, that the password that we have created for the setup process, that password will be used. After that, just like in SQLite 3, we created a cursor over here to work on a file. We will similarly create a cursor over here and execute whatever changes we need to make over here. So basically, we wanted to create a database student, so we have created a database students. So I hope guys the creation of the database and how we connected our PyCharm with MySQL is clear over here. The very important step over here is the first step. That means you have to download the package for MySQL over here. Then only everything would work. If you will not download the package, nothing would work over here. So that is the most important step over here. So remember that step. And in our next session, we will be talking about the data types that we can use in MySQL. So stay connected guys, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.